How are you? It's Tuesday. Can you imagine? And it's the last day in the month of March. The first quarter is coming to an end. Yes, it's about the exact order to build wealth. Most people get this wrong, okay? They start with, they get income, right? And they go straight into nesting without getting the right strategy or following the right strategy. And that's what we want to talk about. The wealth order no one taught you. That's what we want to talk about today. So share with your friends. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about it. How you should build your wealth the right way. Because if you miss any of those steps, you realize that you keep working and you're working so hard and you're wondering what's going on. How come I'm not building wealth? So we're talking about it today. The wealth order no one taught you. That's what we want to talk about. Why is it? So you probably would have had a situation where most people were trying to build wealth, okay, but they are investing in the wrong order, right? They jump into crypto, they buy stocks, they buy real estate, right? Without building the financial foundation first. So for you to build wealth the right way, right? You ensure that you set up a solid foundation. The solid financial foundation is very, very critical whenever you want to build wealth. It's step after step, layer by layer. Just think about it. You want to build and you all of a sudden you start from the roof. What's going to happen? You will not even have a building, right? Or you start from you want to start building, you start all the way, no foundation, you just start building. What's going to happen? The house is going to crumble. And that's why some people struggle or they are stuck when it comes to wealth building. So the right order, the wealth order no one taught you. That's what we want to talk about. So share with your friends, share with your family. Let's get it started. It's the last day in the quarter one. So where are we on those new year, new me, right? New year, new me. All those new year, new me. Where are we on it? It's the last day in the quarter. Can you imagine of 2026? One quarter of 2026 is gone. You have only 3 quarters left, right? And we all know that summer runs so quick, right? So where are we? Okay, in terms of your wealth building status, your health wealth, your peace wealth, your time wealth, your money wealth. What is those goals that you had on the 1st of January and where are you at on it right now? Okay, let us talk about that because if you build the wealth the wrong order, what you realize is that you just keep doing it and working and working. Hey Sandra, how are you? Sandra Buggins, welcome. How are you? We're talking about the wealth order, right? No one taught you because if you do it the right way, your chances of getting the right result is there. Because most people are trying to build wealth, but they are investing in the wrong order. They jump straight into crypto, they jump straight into stocks, they focus on real estate investing without building the financial foundation. If the foundation is not there, just imagine you want to have a building, you don't have a foundation, you just keep building. What's going to happen? It's going to crumble. That's the same thing when it comes to wealth building and building your finances. So subscribe if you haven't. Yes, if you haven't subscribed, you want to subscribe because you are just going to be on the right. And I was also asking, today is the last day of quarter one of 2026. Where are we on those goals? How are you? How are you? Thank you so much for that daily at me, Bibiana. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. And everyone that is here, the real estate training that's coming on the 11th and 12th, I already put the link in the bio. You should have it now. You can go register. It's going to be, we have very limited spots. So the minutes that you have, just go register immediately. It is free. It's a $1,000 value, but I'm giving it for free, just about giving back to the society. It's my birthday month in April, okay? So I'm giving back, training others this, okay? And what's the best thing? Learning for somebody with a double-digit hands-on real estate portfolio, okay? So you're going to learn everything, the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly. You will learn everything. That's what it's about. Awesome. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Follow if you haven't followed. And remember to take your, what's it called? Remember to register. Awesome. So let's go straight into it. What the wealth order that no one taught you in school, okay? And let's share with our friends, our family. Let's share, press the forehead and share, power share, and let's keep tapping out the light. So Like I said, most people are trying to build wealth the wrong order. So think about it. Let's take this as a building. When you want to build, right, what's the first thing that happens? You lay the foundation. What do you do next? You have the building. And then what happens next? You have the roof. But what happens if you don't lay the foundation and you just go straight into the building and you put the roof on it? What's going to happen? The house is going to crumble. That's just the same with the finance, and that's part of the reason, or that may be part of the reason why you feel that, you know what, I'm making so much money, I am investing, but I don't still get it right. Rolla, Ola, how are you? You know, I don't still get it right, and that's what we want to address today, because you want to ensure as much as possible that you get it the right way, because if you get it the right way, you would realize that you're going to win with money, you would succeed with investing, you will get to that millionaire status if that's your goal, right? So for everyone that just joined on YouTube, remember to subscribe if you haven't, okay? And let's keep sharing the life with our friends and our family. Awesome. So having said that, if you feel like that, put in the comment section that you're just working and you're trying to build wealth, you're learning, you go into these all these trainings, and you realize that, you know what, I'm not still getting it, right? I'm not still getting it, something still feels wrong. Trust me, I have been there. I lost 100,000 or close to 100,000 some years back, investing in the stock market, just because I did not build it the right way. I didn't get the right education. I did not follow the right strategy in terms of laying the foundation, and then once I laid the foundation, making sure that I put the building right on top of it, and before putting the roof, I just went, laid foundation, and I went straight to the roof without getting the building all together. All right, so let's get it started. Let's get it all started. So what is the step? Okay, the step-by-step framework, okay, the step-by-step that I'm talking about. The first thing is income stability. I always tell everyone, do not despise your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 is a wealth engine, is a tool, okay? Your 9 to 5, when I mean your paycheck, it's a tool. So a lot of people on social media would say, oh, you know what, your 9 to 5, da, 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 da. No, I'm not one of those that tells you that. Do not despise your 9 to 5, because your 9 to 5 is a wealth building tool. So except you got an inheritance or you won a jackpot, your chances of building wealth, or your source of building wealth, is your income. It starts with your paycheck. Okay, so before anything, just ensure that your income is stable, because first of all, you have to have your family, you have to take care of family. Children will not say, oh, you know what, my parents because my parents don't have an income, they're not going to eat. They're going to eat either ways. They would you also want to have, that's one thing that gives you financial peace. It gives you absolute financial peace if you first of all, if you're able to build some form of steady income. All right, because income funds everything. Understand that your income will fund everything. It funds your feeding, your housing, your rent, or your mortgage, your utilities, your basic needs, right? Your car note or your transportation. It is just your income that starts it first. That is it, because income would fund your investing as well. So a lot of time where people make a mistake is they take the income and they just use it towards that first thing I talked about, which is the utilities, the housing, and the car, and the car, and of course the groceries. That's what they use it for. I call it depreciating lifestyle liabilities. That's all that they use their paycheck for. But your paycheck, how you win with your paycheck is income can do the depreciating lifestyle liabilities, but at the same time, it should also fund investing. It should also fund assets. It should also fund opportunities, right? Any opportunity. So there's a business opportunity, anything that is going to help you to build wealth. Your income is going to help you build that. All right. So the first thing is for you to protect it and increase your income. Protect it and increase your income. So think about it, and I always say this: for you to be able to build wealth, it's like this: your expense here, your income here. The higher the income, if you can keep your expense at the same level, not align lifestyle. Mr. KJM, I have an AI. Okay, yeah. You do you want to put in the comment or yeah? So, just think about it. Your income is here, your expense is here. Income is here, expense is here. If your income is the best way for you to create wealth, will be like okay, you have your income is going up, but your expense is not going at the same rate as your income. If your expenses keeps going at the same rate as your income, what you realize is that the lifestyle creep, that's what is called lifestyle creep, because you keep just working just to fund the depreciating lifestyle liabilities. That's what is just going to happen. However, if you take some of your income, right, and your income is increasing, or you are sustaining your income, but your lifestyle is decreasing, like the expenses, it remains low. You change your job, you increase your salary or whatever, your expense is still at almost at the this difference that you see here. That is what is called wealth building, right? This difference that is here, that is called wealth building. And Mr. Kjem, give me, I know, let me see. Yeah. So basically, the difference here is what is going to help you with your wealth building right here. That difference. Okay. So having said that, fund, your income helps you to fund your assets. Income funds your opportunities as well. Any new opportunity, income gets to do that. So the first step is protecting and increasing your income. And a lot of people make mistake when it comes to this. They just despise the income. They get the income, they use it on something that is not even relevant, or something that doesn't even help them build wealth, right? They just use it to fund the lifestyle. That is not the way to go. It's going to fund your lifestyle, it's going to fund your investing, it's going to fund your what's it called, it's going to fund your investing, it's going to fund your asset, and of course it's going to fund the opportunities. All of them is what is going to fund. Mr. Kejam, you came up earlier. I don't know, did you drop? Because I did accept it. If you can, or do you want to wait till after so that I am able to answer your AI question? All right. So the first step is protecting it and increasing your income. For instance, you get a career growth, right? You're working, you're giving it your best, all right, so that you can get to a career level that you want, right? Careers, because the increase in your career, the increase is your income. And this is between us. If you're on one job for 10 years or whatever, know that your friends that have moved maybe two times or three times, their chances of getting more higher pay than you is very much there. Somebody like me that have moved so many places. I've moved maybe like 5, 8 different companies, not because I was fired or anything, but because I was look new opportunities, and that gave me, a quick promotion to even to the vice president position, right? So if I was on the same level, I would probably maybe a manager would have been the best I would have been by now. But it gave me quick promotion. So that is a tip for you. If you are thinking of how can you increase your income, how can you have a career growth, that is one tip for you. But of course, you have to be good at what you do. Okay. So the second thing is that think of how you can have an high income skill, right? Think about it. So for instance, like somebody like me some years ago, like 13 years ago precisely, whenever I wanted to move from corporate finance, my background, I'm an economist, right? My first degree is in economics, and then but also a chartered accountant. So automatically, where do I work? I work in a top what's it called? 500 Fortune 500 company, and I was in the corporate finance section. Okay, I mean by default, I'm an economist and a chartered accountant. Basically, that's what I'll be doing, right? But I realized that I was doing more hours, I was doing more work. But my colleagues that were doing the same thing on the technology side, they were doing lesser work, but they were earning higher than me. So automatically, the smart self in myself told myself that you know what, I cannot be working like an elephant and eating like an ant. No, I have to go and figure it out. So I figured it out, but I did not take another degree. I took certification. Literally cost me $1,000 or less than that, and I was able to increase my income within 5 months. 5 months from the time that I took the decision to the time I searched for the certification, the time I got the job, 5 months, and guess what? I increased my income by $30,000. So that is a strategy right there that you can also use to increase your income, right? High income skill, it helps you to get that income right there. Like it helps you, because remember, if your income is high, if your expense is high, the higher your this difference, the wider this gap here, the wider you can easily get financial freedom quicker. Okay, it gives you financial freedom quicker. That's just it. Professor Cyril, welcome here. And the other part of it, the other ways that you can also increase your income, have income stability, is side hustle, like, or side, supplementing. I call it supplementing your income. So for instance, you are earning, let's say, hi Stephanie, you're earning what's it called, you're earning 70,000. You want to get to a six-figure salary. How do you do it? If you don't want to get an additional skill set, you can look for other ways. Rental arbitrage, do things on Toro, renting your car on Toro, ride Uber, do some other things that is going to help you supplement or increase that income. And by the way, and the aspect of high income skill, you can also do things like, take some certifications, right? Take some free certification. There are free certification on Coursera, right? Coursera is Courasera, right? That's Coursera. The other place is Ava Business School. They are free. You'll be so surprised at the free training, and even if you're going to pay $1,000 or less, because most importantly is the return on investment. You don't want to go take a student loan. You teach, yeah. You don't want to. Salesforce too, yes, but we are looking for something that is free, right? People that are free or close to, like, really not too expensive, right? Such that people are just, you're able to get to learn it quickly, and also be able to start making money as quickly as possible. So Coursera, you get some free training there, and as well you would also get on Google, on Ava Business School, and developer as well, your Salesforce, to also think about, how much is it, if it's something that is also decently affordable, but definitely not a student loan. So number 4 step in building wealth is what? Income stability. That's the first thing. Income stability, making sure that you are protecting your income and you are increasing your income. So you cannot jump that, except you got an inheritance, you're a trust kid, or the other way is you are also you got a jackpot, you won a jackpot. So, but if you cannot get all of that, well, your income is your founding source, like your foundation for wealth building. The second thing that people always skip, and they start investing, right? After this, they get the income, they start investing. No. The second thing is you to have your emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? Emergency fund, as it says, things happens, right? Your financial protection is the second thing, right? Financial protection, emergencies. In a case there's an emergency, there's a job loss, there's a health issue. Life happens. Life is life in at times. Things happens, right? A lot of people are losing their jobs as of today. A lot of people lost their job last year, and it was not planned. It's not like they were not good at their job. They were not good at their job. Not sure what you mean, how many months. They were not good at their job. They are good, but because either AI took the job, the company is not doing well, or the job is no longer relevant, or whatever. Anyways, it's just the owner of the company. Yeah, that okay. It's the owner of the company that's the only person that would say that is very self-sufficient and he cannot be laid off from that job. That's the only person. That's why you want to aim to be an owner versus the earner. All right, that's why you want to be an owner, because he's the only one that is almost protected. Okay, using the word protected, is the only one, the owner. So before investing aggressive, you need your emergency fund. Why? Because when life happens, car repairs, job loss, medical bills, you don't want to sell investment. Okay, you don't want to sell investment. 007, we're going to get into it, right? We're going to get into it. This is step by step. Okay, So we're going to get everything you're saying right now. We're going to get into it, right? Because it's step by step. So emergency fund, right? Car repairs, job loss, medical bills, that happens, all of those. You don't want to sell your investment because guess what? Job loss or something happens, you already put money in investment, but right now the stock market is down because of the because of the unrest in the Middle East. What happens? You're going to be forced to go and sell that your investment or your stocks or whatever at a loss, right? Because now you need to use it for a pressing need. But in emergency fund, you keep 3 to 6 months. Start with 1 month, right? 1 month is what you start. You don't have anything at all. You just started a job, start with 1 month, pile it to 1 month, then you increase it to 3 months, then to 6 months, right? That is how you build it. And what is your emergency fund? Emergency fund is four things. Number one, your home, right? Your housing is number one. Two is your transportation, because you need to get to work, move from one place to the other, either bus pass or either, a car note or your car, something for your gas transportation. Number three, your groceries, right? Because you're going to eat, you're going to take care. Children will not say they would not eat. Children would eat, right? Okay, groceries. Either there's job loss or nothing. Children will still, babies will wear diapers. Then the last thing is what? The last thing is utilities. You want to have water, you want to have heat, you want to have your HVAC on, right? So that is the 3 to 6 months or 1 month, 3 to 6 months is where you can, in terms of your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, and of course, start with 1 month. Now, once you do and this money you put it in an high yield savings account, right? High yield savings account is where you put it. Because you're not put it in an investment, you put it in an high yield savings account. What is an high yield savings account? High yield savings account is basically your regular bank, but giving you a better interest rate. So if you care to share your bank, if you have Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, if you have Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, put in the comments how much interest are you getting, or your regular bank. If you want to share, how much are you getting? Like a Chase, how much are you getting? How much are you getting? Put in the comments. How much are you getting? If you care to share. I was getting 0.01 with Bank of America. I don't know, 100,000. It's like it's $1 in a year. 12 whole months of your $100,000, 0.0. Okay, I was getting 0.01%. So that is the reason. Instead of you getting a 0.01%, let's say your emergency fund is 10,000. Let's say it's 10,000 for instance. Okay, if you put it in an IU savings account, just go on Google. The best IU savings account in April 2026. Tomorrow is April, by the way. Quarter 1 is already done. So all those your new year, new me goals. Where are we at? Quarter 1 is gone. All right. So just a reminder. So April 2026, the best IU savings account. The last that I checked, you have a Capital One. If you are somebody that likes a traditional bank, right? Traditional bank, you want to work in there, it gives you 3.3%. That is $330 on a $10,000 a whole year. That is you getting about $30 every single month. Remember, the interest goes on your account every single month, every month. So it's not like they pay you at the end of the year. No, every single month that your 10,000 is there, that $30, right? That $30 is going to be there, right? That's what you get every single month. $330. There is also a Vero. A Vero will give you 5%. Somebody in this community got a Vero for 5%, but you need to check because the rate changes. Because remember, it's also a function of the feds and all of the rates and all of that. It's a function of the rates from the Fed, so it changes. So, but when you go on Google, you will be able to find that. And there are some, introductory, bargains that you can also have. They might say that if you put your money for 1 month or whatever, you're going to get a $300 free. Those are free money. So That is why you put it in the in such account. SoFi is another one. SoFi would give you how much? SoFi is about 4%, the last that I checked. But just check it. Any of that, Barclays, Marcos, different banks. But just make sure that whatever bank, make sure that it is FDIC insured, meaning that your account is protected against, if the bank goes down, it falls up, you are protected, your money is protected up to $250,000, right? Anything above $250,000, you don't even have any business having money in an IU savings account up to $250,000. That's not even a smart investment move. Okay, so your emergency fund stays in an IU savings account. Period. All right. So credit union. Some 0.0007 said credit union. Yes, you can also check with your credit union. Just ask them what are the IU savings IU savings programs they have. They will tell you, just ask them. There's no point in asking. The best they can say is that no, we don't have any, but at least you ask. So always ask if you like your credit union, or, I know that there was one credit union that they said in New York that gives up to like 5.5%. Right? You can get up to 5.5%. So you can check, and you'll be even be surprised. You can negotiate. Like even with the Chase that we are saying that we are getting 0.01%. When I discuss with them, and I told them that I am moving my funds, you know what I got? I got 3%. I got 3% with Chase. But it has to be high net worth. They would say that, okay, they might say that they need 100,000, right? They might say that you need to have a minimum of 100,000 to open that account. It might require higher interest rate, and they want to build because they already have a relationship with you, and they don't want you to leave because maybe you're a Chase private client, or you're a platinum member with Bank of America and all of that. So you might be able to negotiate. That's where the multimillionaires, the wealthy, right? That's where they have the leverage, because what the middle class will not have access to, they have those access to. They have access to the better interest rate and those returns. So your emergency fund is the second thing. The first is what? Your income. Number two is what? Emergency fund, in you stacking up your wealth. Okay? If you skip any of this, then that's where you stay stuck. The third thing that is very, very, very important, and people make this mistake, I've seen it 100 times, is after emergency fund, the people that have done it, they jump straight to investing. But if you skip the debt part of it, if you have high interest debt, that's the next thing that you tackle. And you want to listen to understand the reason why. High interest debt, what is high interest debt? That's the first question. High interest debt is any debt that is above 10%. So it means your mortgage does not fall in this category. Anything, personal loans, all those credit card that is at 27% APY or APR or whatever they call it, there's the 21%, 15% personal loan, all those loans that you get from payday loan. Any point you have that, please, you don't have any business in investing. First of all, go take care of those debts, right? And you can use different methods in paying off this debt. You can use the snowball method. You can use the avalanche method. You can use the avalanche method. You can use debt consolidation. And there are some other strategies that I might not even want to talk about here, because it's also very risky, because if you are not disciplined, you would lose some other bigger things. So I know of people that have been wise. They're able to negotiate their rates down. There was one person in here that talked about how they were getting 30-something% interest rate, 30-something% interest rate, but because of that, they now got ELOC. They have a property. They got ELOC from their property, paying less than a 10%, and they are using that 10%. They paid off the debt, and now they are just paying ELOC. Good strategy, but that is only if you are disciplined, because you could lose your property to it. Remember, one is secured loan, one is unsecured. That's why one is higher than the other, right? So that's one. The other thing is that another people also do is they can take some money from their 401k that somebody said and use it to pay the debt, and they are paying themselves for their 401k. That strategy as well, you have to be disciplined to pay yourself, because if you don't pay your 401k, you are stealing for your future. That's basically what you're doing. So it makes sense if you are disciplined enough. Otherwise, use the snowball method, looking for the one with the least balance, right? Regardless of the interest rate, pay that one first. It just motivates you, it encourages you, inspires you that, okay, it's almost like a reward for you that, oh, I took care of this. If I can do this, I can do the others, right? That's how you do it, from the least balance to the biggest balance, right? Then the other one is avalanche. Look at the one with the highest interest rate. This is the one that will put more money in your pocket, because you are paying off with the one with the highest interest rate. There's one that is 15%, there's one that is 27%. The avalanche method says pay the one with the highest interest rate, regardless of the amount, right? Pay that one first, and because that takes more money from your pocket. And the last one, which is debt consolidation, I call it reclassing, because if you are not disciplined with this one, don't even do it. Where you take all of the debt and you consolidate them in one, negotiate it to a better rate, and once you negotiate to a better rate, you are paying it off. But remember, there's also a transfer fee that comes with it. So it doesn't make sense if you do not plan to pay it, and you want to continue to live the lifestyle and you are not paying. You're just going to accumulate more debt. Okay, you are accumulating more debt. So debt payment is number one. Right now, you're wondering, and somebody asked a question: won't the money made with investment pay off the debt in future? So I'm going to answer your question. So, and the reason why I say debt before investing is, think about it. If you put money in an S&P 500, S&P 500 is an ETF, which is pretty popular. It gives you averaging between 8 to 12%. Or you put it in the NASDAQ 100, it gives you 18 to 22%, right? But guess what? You have a credit card that is at 27%. So it simply means that you are using your money, you are investing your money, all the return on your investment of 22%, or let's say, 22%, but you are still going to add another 5% from your pocket to fund that mortgage, that loan is somebody's business. Is a bank business. That particular loan is a bank's business. So you are paying the bank. You are financing is an investment for the bank. So you are not just losing all the money that you have taken in your investment, return on your investment. You are still having to take some of your income to fund another person's investment. So what makes sense is just pay this person off. Pay that person off, and then you can now start investing and not have a negative, because it's counterproductive. Okay, it's very counterproductive. And won't you with invest and pay off the debt in future if you negotiate? Yeah, you can actually negotiate your debt. You can definitely negotiate your debt. But that's just the reason why. You're right. That is just the reason why. Okay. But guess what? It is not just one person that is asking. Trust me, a lot of people fall in this category. A lot more. I was there before investing. That's why I lost 100,000, because, of course, lack of education. Lack of education. If only you pay off the debt, because the reason, and just to also mention it, the reason I had to liquidate some of those assets, because I invested and the stock started going down. But there's some of them that are up to date. There's some of them that are up to date. If I'd kept it, but we wanted to buy a property, wanted to buy a forever home. So I had to liquidate that money to buy for the down payment, the 20% down payment of a forever home. That if I still kept it, I wouldn't have still lost the money. But unlike my friend that did options trading, we already know how it works. It's almost like a gamble. She did Tesla options trading. In 1 week, the money reduced to like 1,000. So she was even angry. She just left everything. 50,000 in 1 week, Tesla options. So that is even but think about it. The reason why I talked about emergency funds is, it could also have been an emergency. In my own case, it was an investment, right? In my own case, it was an investment. But in case there's an emergency, they're not good. In case there's an emergency, right? That's how you would have been forced to sell that stock at the below the market value, and you lose money. So I always try to talk about my own story so you would know. So it's relatable. So don't feel bad if you've lost money or you're afraid that you could lose money. Somebody has been there, right? And I will tell you, so those are the things that, number one is your income. Two is your emergency fund. Three is debt payoff, right? Anything above 10%, you are paying. Good afternoon, Mr. Enikon. You are paying that off, okay? So that is it right there. Oh, thank you. So, and then after you have done this, is until you have fixed these first three things. The first three things is the foundation. Remember, when I started with this, right? The first thing is the foundation, which is what? That foundation is these ones that we have talked about. Your income is your foundation. Then number two is your building, emergency fund, your debt, and all of that. Now you can now start, or maybe we would say the foundation is your income and your emergency fund and your debt, right? Payoff, right? The building in itself is now the asset. You cannot skip this. If you build and you just miss the foundation, the house is going to crumble. So now you want to build. It's the asset. Now, out of all that we have talked about right now, from the beginning to the end, from everything, 1, 2, 3, those are what? Most of them are depreciating lifestyle liabilities. Emergency is, except that the emergency never comes, right? Except that. But the debt, it's go. Now, this is where you now build wealth. This building, that's called it a building. That's when you now build wealth. I call it my green. You now build wealth. This is what is going to build wealth for you, right? Because guess what? Assets are the things, assets that are cash flowing. So think about it. You have this income. If you take your income and you fund 1, 2, 3, right? Your emergency fund, your lifestyle, your bills, your debt. If you fund it and it ends there, you are just working. You are just working to pay debt. That's what you are basically doing, right? Working to pay fund lifestyle. But what do? You take some of the money and you put it on asset. Asset appreciating cash flowing asset. I call it ACA, appreciating cash flowing asset. Here is depreciating lifestyle liability, DLL. So always remember that when I say ACA, when I say DLL, that's what it means. Depreciating lifestyle liabilities. It's taking money from you. It's not growing anything. Asset, it cash flow, it returns money, it gives you something in return. You put it's like a seed. You put it on the ground, it germinates, and it gives you more. And then you can decide to say, okay, you know what, this is my farmland right now. And you can start saying that, okay, I don't even need this income anymore. This is now generating funds for me. So now, this is where your money starts working. That money, you remember I said income, expense. The difference here, this difference here is now what you use for asset building. This is what is used for wealth creation. So what are the asset class that I talk about? I talk about 2 to 3 asset class that I talk about. Number one, I talk about ETFs. Exchange traded funds, and you're wondering, so Dr. Lina, why ETFs or index funds? So I want you to go on Google, take a laptop or whatever, another gadget, search where does the multi-millionaire and the billionaires, I did not say millionaires, multi-millionaires and billionaires, where do they put their money? Okay, where do they put their money? I'll ask, while we are searching, let me just answer Mr. Annie. How about a group of people who are 60s and above and want to start investing? What I would say is, if you have your 401k, if you don't have your 401k, please don't do anything risky. Just simply first of all, put in an IU savings account, put in bonds, put in treasury bills. All of those kind of things would be more ideal for you because you are close to retirement. Your risk level should be almost zero at this point. That, to be honest, and that's why they always say time in the market. If you have properties, you have your home, pay off your mortgage, because at this time you should be thinking of resting, right? Most of these things you can still learn it, teach your children, because now they still have a whole lot of time in the market and they can use all this information as a leverage, right? Everything I teach right now, they are very generic. So if you want something that is specifically unique to your portfolio, to your need, because everybody's income is different. We can always talk about that. You can book a one-on-one consult and we can look at it. But that was an amazing question. But you can use it for your children because this is pretty generic. So the first asset, I hope that answers your question, Mr. Ene. Yeah, because the first thing, the one I talk ETFs is number one. And when they ask, if you go on Google, put the result that you see in there, but I can tell you number one, either interchangeably, one will be real estate, the other will be ETFs, and yeah, okay. Put in the comment section what you find, real estate or ETF, exchange traded funds or index fund. In potato, one is traded during the day as a stock and the other is traded at the end of the day once the market is settled. That's just the difference. They're almost the same thing, right? They track almost the same thing. S&P 500, they have, so basically that's just the difference between the two. So if you're wondering, so ETF and real estate, those are the first two. Now you will see some other things all the way: venture capital, what's it called, painting, what's it called, collections, all those vintage or whatever. Those are things that you find. But even me, I don't know the good painting from the one that is real and, and the one. So I just talk about the number one and the two that is pretty universal, easy to teach, easy to understand, and has worked for me in the past years after I lost my 100K, okay? And can we also share the live again and keep tapping? I know we are all locked in. Let's keep tapping and let's share the live in. So while we're doing that, so ETF, exchange traded fund, just like it says, it's a basket of stocks or shares, whichever way you call it. So we're wondering, so what is stock? What is ETF? What's stocks? What is shares? Stock shares simply means you investing in a company, taking a share of a company. So you like Amazon or whatever because you buy Amazon. You want to own a part of Amazon. You simply buy a unit or a fractional unit of Amazon. So you can say that, okay, if Amazon is 1,000 per unit, right? You can say, okay, I want to buy a worth of 100 units in terms of dollars of Amazon shares. That means you have had an ownership of shares of Amazon of worth $100. That's the beautiful thing about ETF, right? You can buy or stocks or shares. You can buy fractional shares. Gone are the days when you cannot buy fractional and it has to be a whole amount. Now you can buy per dollar, like dollar value, okay? That you can buy even $1. Yes, you can buy it now, right? So having said that, now ETF on the other hand, you like Amazon, but at the same time you're a coffee lover. You also still take Starbucks, but you also like iPhone, so you love Apple as well. You want to own Apple because you've heard that instead of being a consumer, drinking for every cup of coffee that you drink, you also want to invest that same value, or for every single time that you plan to upgrade your iPhone, you also invest that same amount in to become an owner of Apple, of iPhone, right? So something of that nature. So because of that, you say, you know what? But I want Apple. But at the same time, I love Coca-Cola because you said yeah. At the same time, you love Coca-Cola, right? Because you drink soda. I do. By the way, we need to low on sugar on that, right? Health wealth, right? Health wealth. Remember, health wealth. It's also part of your wealth building. Time wealth, health wealth, peace wealth, money wealth. Money is what we are talking about now. All right. So you like Starbucks, you like Apple, you like Amazon, you like so many companies, but you only have $100. Yes, you can buy. That's what ETF does for you. Whenever you buy one unit, let's say you buy 500 company, you want to buy one unit of an ETF, you buy everything that is in that fund. So give it like an S&P 500. Top 500, everybody knows S&P 500, right? Top 500 company in the United States, right? You can, when you buy a unit of the S&P 500, what you realize is that you are buying all the top 500 company in the United States inside that basket. That's everything. So with your $100, you are buying everything, 500 companies in the United States. You can, so for instance, if you decide to buy a VOO, like VOO is a Vanguard, okay. So you have S&P 500, right? We now have multiple brokerage firms that track their own S&P 500 that manage that fund. Remember, is a portfolio of funds, right? For portfolio of funds. So, like a Vanguard, which is a brokerage firm, would have theirs, right? And then a BlackRock will have theirs. A State Street will have theirs. JP Morgan will have theirs. But what's it called? Ameritrade, they all have theirs, right? So when you hear VOO, maybe you would have heard that's Vanguard of S&P 500, tracks S&P 500. State Street, that's SPY 500. I think BlackRock is IVV. So there are different ones, right? Now, when whichever one, all of them has returned between 8 to 12%, averagely for the past 30 years. Okay? Averagely for the past 30 years. That's what they have done. Whenever you buy, and their fee structures is not so much, 0.02, 0.03, but they have returned almost the same thing. So anyone is good. Top 500 company. Whenever you, with your $100, you are buying all the 500 companies, top 500 companies in the United States. That's what you are buying. Okay? You can decide to say that, you know what, I want to buy the entire US stock market, like a VTI, everything. Everything you can buy it with your $1. We bought $1 of Robinhood the other day. I showed you how to buy it so you can buy it. The only thing is that whenever you are, for some platforms, whenever you are buying, because I hear that a lot, whenever you are buying, you need to change it from shares to dollars, right? You need to toggle the button to change it from shares, just in case it gives you that error. Yeah. Just in case it gives you that error, toggle it from shares to dollar. If you change it to dollar, it will now show that, okay, you are buying this value of, the dollar value. You are not buying it in shares. And that is how you buy. That's how you buy. ETF is one place that the multimillionaires and the billions. In short, as a matter of fact, when they asked Hathaway, Mr. Buffett, right? Warren Buffett, who is call him Lord of Investing, worth 1.6 billion. Everybody should read about him. They call him the Lord of Investing. He's 96 years old. He's worth 1.6 billion. When they asked him, where should we put our money? Which stock should we buy? He said, just buy an index fund or ETF. Why are you picking and choosing? Because you always win. You always win. It's more of the time in the market versus time in the market. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't on the YouTube channel, and thank you for following as well. Awesome. And thank you for tapping out the like and for sharing the live. Great. Awesome. And for those that are meeting me for the first time, by the way, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology. I'm a serial investor with double-digit real estate portfolio. So I invest not just in ETF, I invest in real estate because those are number one and number two, right? And on top of that, I've been in corporate America for almost 2 decades. So whatever you are feeling when it comes to corporate America, or you are working right now, your 9-to-5 job, I have been there, I'm still there, and I am just sharing my knowledge in terms of my own wealth building journey, just so I can help as many people to get to that millionaire status and beyond. Awesome. Great. Having said that, so the real and the drugs. Yeah, so why do they talk? So the question now is, why do they talk about ETFs? Why did Mr. It's because it diversifies your portfolio. So think about it. The stock market is down right now, but guess what? One of the stock or a few of the stock inside the S&P 500 have gone up by 40%. So energy is in there. So like an Exxon is there. 40% is what is growing in the past how many weeks? Even though every other thing is going, the stock market is going down and all of that. Everything is going down. But guess what? Exxon will lift that portfolio. And think about it. If one goes down, trust me, 499 is still there. If 10 goes down, 490 if 100 goes down, 400 is still there. Versus when you buy one stock and you put your money there, if it goes down, it goes down. It goes down, it means that you have lost your money. But you edge, that's how you edge your risk. You spread your risk. Because you are not God, you don't know what tomorrow is going to be. You did not know, nobody knew that there was going to be an unrest in the Middle East and the street of Hormuz is going to be impacted and gases. Nobody saw that coming at the beginning of the year, right? Nobody saw it coming. So the fact that you did not see it coming, nobody saw COVID coming. See, because you cannot see those things happen, then that is why it's just a safer way of you investing. Because yes, it might not be get rich quick scheme. And by the way, I always say that I do not teach rich quick scheme. I am talking about save. I've tried to do get rich quick scheme, which is day trading, options trading, just a little bit of that. But then penny stock, I tried to do that just to navigate. But I of course, that's where somebody asked earlier. So, how did you lose 100,000? That's it right there. Now you have your response right there. Right there. I'm proud to say it because it's a learning for me. Very hard one, but at the same time, I can tell the story right now, and it's oh yeah, you lost money. So trust me, everybody that options trading, I call it a gamble. So now it's buy and hold. Time in the market always supersede time in the market. The rule of 72 says, okay, rule of 72 says that if you this thing that we are talking about, if you put your money, your money doubles every 7 years. That's rule of the 72, not me. That's not me. Rule of 72, your money doubles every 7 years. So what does this mean? It simply means that if you put 100,000 this year, right, by 2032 or whatever, right, by 2032 or 2033, your money should be 200,000, right? And at the same time, if you should also for other months coming, right, for other years. So by year 14, right, year 14, your money becomes 400,000. By year 21, it becomes 800,000. By year, the same 100,000. By year 28, it becomes how much? 1.6 million. You are wondering, so how do millionaires are created from another world? No, they are not. Millionaires are not created from another world. They are just regular people, you and I. But it's just that these people are just patient. They are patient in the market. They did not even put any other dime after that 100,000. It's just the time. That's the power of compounding, and that's why they say compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. All right. So another S&P 500. I talked about the VOO, the SPY, the S&P 500, the IVV. Right. I also put money in Nasdaq 100. So like a QQQ. These returns 18 to 22%. So go do your search on it. Then the other place I put money is what's it called? Dividends, for dividends. So like an SCHD. These only does not give you growth. It also gives you dividends. So you do profit sharing, almost like a profit sharing. Even though you don't sell the stock, they are going to be giving you dividends every single month, right? On that particular this asset class. It doesn't grow as fast, but it is very decent, and it doesn't swing. The swing is not so much, the dip is not so much, it's almost stable, but you're getting dividends. So like a company like Procter and Gamble, you will find it, Johnson and Johnson, all those companies that have paid dividend consistently for 100 years. Those are the companies that you are going to find there. And Mr. Annie, you asked earlier, that's also another one that you can also put money, right? That's for people in their 60s or whatever. That's a very more conservative, because you want to be more conservative. You want to own a more conservative portfolio when it comes to a certain age, right? That I'm not going to be investing aggressively when I'm in my 50s. It's not possible, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, but how do you know the one? How do you know the one? That's the question. Awesome. So S&P 500, and I talked about that. Then REIT is another one. Real estate ETF. I don't put money in that. I don't put money because, and you will know the reason why shortly. I don't put money in that. But it's also a good one, and that helps you to diversify your portfolio. With all of this that I've talked about, you would have invested in 500 companies, 600, 700, and 800. 800 companies, even with your $100. If you just simply put $40, $20, $20, $10 in all of this. So Rivana was asking, where do you put to invest your money? ETF, S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, dividends, and of course REIT. Okay, those are the four. Those are the four. Awesome. So we're not, I don't pick and choose stocks here, right? I don't. I mean, if people want to do it, do their research well. Okay, they need to. If you want to pick individual stock, because I do have individual stock, because like I worked in Procter and Gamble for 8 years, so I know it's a solid company, and that's the only. And I've been investing since how many years? 15 years since I joined the company, has stock options. So it is automatically I have such dividends, right? I mean, I have such companies, but those are a few individual companies that I have. But if you want to, individual can be good, but do your research because the risk is way higher. Your risk is at 100%. If it goes down, you get 100% loss. Zero, you get 100% loss. If it goes up, you get 100% increase. That's the beauty, right? I mean, that's the risk. The higher the risk, the higher the return. So, but ETF help you to spread your risk across board, right? The most important thing is that, and you're thinking, how do you get to start a brokerage? Just open a brokerage account. What's a brokerage account? You can open a Fidelity account. These are the houses that, like your bank. These are the houses, investment houses. So like a Fidelity, a Vanguard, a Schwab, a Robinhood. Those are the kind of, those you can actually put your money. You can open any of those accounts. Those are all accounts, right? You open the account. I always recommend open a Roth IRA. Okay, Roth IRA. If you're and Roth IRA and a broker, Roth IRA, it grows tax free. So you put money there, it grows. It's tax at the source. Then it grows all the way, and you get your money tax free whenever. You're not paying capital gain tax on it. Okay, you're not. Yeah, you're not how do I put it, you're not losing. Lost my chain of thought. You are not, if you put your money in any of those, just put it, open the account and ensure that you set your account like a direct deposit to it every single month to ensure consistency. What does this help you to do? It helps you do dollar cost average. If you do dollar cost average, simply means that every single month they are deducting the same amount as what you are putting in there, and you are buying the same thing over and over and over again. So what does this mean? When the stock market is low, you are buying. When the stock market is high, you are buying. You are buying. Okay, so what does this mean over time? So think about it. You bought stock at $100. You bought another one at $200. Guess what? Averagely, you'll be at 150. That's what it means. And if this stock rides out to like 500, that is how you build wealth, right? That's how you build money. But if you so when is the market going to be low? You're not God. You don't know. You don't know. It might never go lower ever again, right? It might never, but yeah. So that's how you start, a beginner investor. This is how you just start. Open those accounts. And if you're in Canada, because I know this is not just the US, the community is pretty diverse. US, for instance, if you're in Canada, Wealthsimple is a brokerage firm, an investment house where you can open your account. If you're in the UK or you're in any part of Europe, Trading 212 is your option right there. Or any other one, just go on Google and search a brokerage firm that I can buy my S&P 500, my NASDAQ 100, my SCHD, and of course my REIT. Any of them, just go open it, whichever way you're comfortable with. Yeah, exactly. So that is that. And of course, if you are in Africa, you're in Nigeria, there's also bamboo. There's bamboo in Africa, there's bamboo in Nigeria, there's Stanbic IBTC, there's Investment One linked to like a guaranteed trust bank, all of those there. But just Google is your friend. Do just set and read their review, whichever one. I always look at review a lot, just like the IU service account. Read their review, the one you're comfortable with, open it, set it, let it be recurring, right? I always say that there's no reason why you not invest. Yes, my paycheck is small. I'm getting the minimum check pay. I'm any minimum pay, right? Or minimum wage. And any minimum wage. Yes, you are any minimum wage, but do they still remove tax? Do you still pay tax? Yes, if you still pay tax on your minimum wage, there is no reason. Even if it's $1, invest. The day you move up from the minimum wage, increase it. Then like that, it's just like the same way I tell my teenager when he's going to start work, it's probably going to start as a minimum wage. Maybe he's lifeguard or something at 15 or 16 as a lifeguard. How much are they going to pay him? But guess what? He's going to put that money in a Roth IRA. He doesn't have a choice. He puts it in a Roth IRA, and that's just the mindset. I always say it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep and you invest. That's how you build wealth. That's why you see some people earn $50,000 or 70,000 all their life and they become a millionaire. But people will earn 500,000, they will retire and they will be waiting on their children to be their retirement plan, or they'll be waiting on social security, things like that, because it's a function of your expense. Your income here, your expense here. If your expense is like this or your expense is like this, you are worse off. But if your income is here, is your expense is a function of percentages. That's why I don't put numbers to it. I would say percentage. I would say put 50%, 50%, 30 to 50%. Save it and invest it, not just saving, invest it. Okay, that is what is going to, that's the only thing that I would give you. That's, you want to step off the hamster wheel, end the paycheck to paycheck circle. You want to end the, you want to have the option, the financial freedom. That's how you get to financial freedom, right there. Keep it simple, dollar cost average every single time. Let it like a clockwork. As you're doing your 9 to 5, I always say pay yourself first. That's how you pay yourself first. Okay, you are working, then you should pay yourself. That is how you pay yourself. You open your Roth IRA, you open your normal brokerage account, and you are funding all of the Roth IRA. If if you are less than 150,000 or something, so you are qualified for. And if you are even above 150,000, do backdoor Roth IRA. There's backdoor Roth that you can also do. So you can do that. And the other part of it is, have your 401k as well. Max it to the whatever your employer is giving you. If your employer is matching 3%, by all means, that's free money. Take it, right? If they're doing 6%, take it. Then you now fund your Roth IRA. 7,500 is what it takes. Trust me, at retirement, you would not even, and you can retire early. And remember, you're also doing your brokerage, because all this 401k and Roth IRA, you cannot take money out of it unless you'll be penalized before 59 and a half. So what do? You also need to have your brokerage account where you are buying all those ETFs that we talked about, and you are funding it separately. So that is just that's the spirit. Oh, real estate professor said important. Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Do you think buying a house first is better than investing? That's where we are going. Remember, we're taking a flow. Income first, emergency fund, debt payoff, and now we are an asset. The first asset class is ETF, right? The first one is ETFs. And now, remember, I did say that I don't put money in real estate ETFs, right? That's because I am very heavy on real estate, the traditional real estate. I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio. Own and manage, you know what that means? It's not just I'm not using property, manage it myself, right? From beginning to end, from buying to eviction, from buying to tenants moving on after 5-7 years to another property, right? That is how much. So I've seen all of the process. And and why do I talk about real estate? Real estate has blessed me, okay? And that's what I would say. It has helped me, doing my 9 to 5, doing everything that I've talked about, put ETF, do all of that. And I was like, okay, you know what? There has to be more ways. How it has made the journey faster for me, right? Not missing what it has really made the job faster for me, because with real estate, it pays you in 4 different ways. Yeah, were you a nurse? No, I'm not a nurse. I'm everything but a nurse. I cannot even stand blood. I wanted to be. Yeah, I cannot. I'm an IT expert. So I'm a vice president of technology on my day job. I'm a doctor of business and technology. So I also lecture kids in the college, in the university. I lecture them AI, cybersecurity, and deep learning. Okay, so that is for somebody that is asking if I'm not a nurse, right? I'm a doctor of business, a real doctor, right? PhD. What IT, cybersecurity, audit, compliance, governance, risk, and controls. So all of it, yeah. Oh, Okay, thank you. Enough. Yeah. Just kidding. Awesome. So having said that, but guess what? With all of this degree and all of that, by the way, I'm an economist, so you might be hearing some accounting terms. I'm an economist and hold on. So I'm an economist and I'm a chartered accountant as well. So you might hear me talk about, accounting and all of that. You hear that later. But that aside, the reason this is so important because guess what? With every degree and all of that, there's something called experience. Until I lost money in the stock market, that's when I realized that I need to research ETFs, right? Figure out to do it the right way. My degree did not do that. My knowledge did not do that. I still lost money. With everything, for real estate, I had to get education, right? And I realized, where do I just watch you on YouTube? Oh, awesome! You watch me on YouTube. Yes. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're missing something. I just had a video on the 4 account system that is keeping you stuck. You want to go there and go and watch and free. It's free because if you people don't pay for something, yeah, go there. But thank you so much, Rina. I hope you found it very insightful, right? I hope you found it very highly insightful. Awesome. So great. So real estate, when in the wealth journey, right? We'll talk about IE savings accounts. That's a child that is just crawling, right? When it comes to ETFs or investing in the stock market, I call it you are walking. When it comes to real estate, then you are running, right? And then there's another one. When you're now doing what's it called? You are in competition. What's those competition? You're doing the relay and all of those. YouTube name is Money Talk with Dr. Lina. And Money Talk with Dr. Lina on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Money Talk with Dr. The DR is DR, not DOCTR. And I'm a doctor, real doctor, PhD, not. People always ask that question. Maybe it's an alias. I'm not alias. I'm a doctor. Maybe you have not seen a doctor on social media. That's why you always think that I'm a. But having said that, so real estate is if you want to build wealth fast, right? As a professional or you are doing a job, save your money, put some of it on, and goes back to your question 007. Yeah, this goes back to your question. Start with your ETF, right? Now, real estate. Why do I talk or why do I rave so much about the real estate? Because it has blessed me, and I'm not kidding. Real estate gives you 4 different paychecks. Real estate will give you cash flow. Real estate will give you equity. Real estate will give you appreciation. Real estate will give you tax benefits. Those 4 things, you'll be so surprised. Like equity, cash flow simply means you're using bank's money to buy a property. You are using tenants' money to pay for the property. Who owns the property? You. You own the property. And then you still have the difference. So you are paying the bank 1,500, as mortgage. But at the same time, tenant is paying 2,000 following the 1% rule on a 200,000 property, right? That's $2,000 that you want to lend that. 1% rule, we try to do that. Yeah. So 1% rule, you buy 2,000. The difference between the 1,500 you are paying the bank and the 2,000 from the tenant, your rent, that difference is 500. That's cash flow. That's number 1. Number 2, I talk about equity. Every time that you give the bank money, right, the 1,500, remember, it's not that you're dashing the bank money. You are not paying them rent. You are paying back the loan. You are reducing how much you hold the bank. That's what you're basically doing. Okay? So it means that in 10 years, let's assume for 1,500 times 10 every single year, 1,500 times 10, that's 15,000. Let's assume the 3,000 is for repairs and other things and contingency. So you keep that aside. 1,500 for 10 years, that's 150,000. Even though we know it's not 150,000, because of course amortization and all of that, they would reduce. They pay their interest first in the beginning of the loan, so it's not going to. But we understand. Let's just use it hypothetically. It means we would have paid almost 150,000, or at least 100,000 in a 10-year period. So that is how. Let's talk about this 07. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Maybe you want to book a one-on-one consultation. That's big. That is big. Let's not do that first. Let us not do that. Let's please book a one-on-one. Book a one. You can find the link in the bio. Let's see what can be done. Let's see, because it's going to You know that thing, and you say that I'm about to file bankruptcy is it true? Yeah, because it's going to keep you be on your record for 7 good years, 7 good years. But I'll come back to it after so that I don't lose my chain of thought. Please remind me after, and I'll tell you the strategy that I used for somebody that was going through foreclosure, and we'll talk about it. So this is a good time for this message because there are more sellers than buyers in the market now. Yes, buyer's market. Well, there's never a good time. Like it's just like the stock market when we say that, and just for the people on YouTube. So the question: this is a good market for this message because there are some sellers than the buyers, right, in the market now. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So it's a good market. Yeah, I agree. I agree, but there's always a gem. Even when, trust me, even when the market was at the low, at when people were doing bidding war, me, I was basically buying properties at 80%, 75% of the property value. I was busy. I'm telling you, 2 years ago, I was still buying at 75% lower, 75% of the market value. 80% of the market value. I'll show you some of those properties you would say. So having said that, real estate will pay you equity every single time. Every single time you are going to be paying, you pay back the bank. It means that you are reducing how much you owe the bank and you are increasing your ownership in this property. What does this mean? You might be like, but the property is still there until I sell it. That's when, no, that's real money, real cash, right? Because you can actually take out the money up to like 75% or 60, 70% or something, depending on your credit and all of the mortgage company. You can take up to like 75% of that 150,000 that your tenant has paid, that you have used to pay, you have used your mortgage that you have paid off. You can take that money and use it to buy another property. That is a BRR strategy, by the way. That's how people would use the same thing. That's the beauty of real estate. You can continue to leverage, but don't over leverage because that's where you kill yourself. Do not over leverage, right? That's the real estate. That's the real estate. That's the beauty of real estate for you. The third part of it is appreciation. And you can also do home equity line of credit where you don't even take money out, but the money is seated on a credit line. Whenever you want to use it, you can access it. By the way, these are strategies we are using to fund our kids' education. So instead of 529, that's how we got into real estate, and we're using real estate to fund kids' education. I hope you know that's possible, right? Yeah, because we are also protecting the kids from if they want to get scholarship or they want to get funding or all of that. It's not like they're going to go review their 529 and because of that qualify them, reduce how much they're supposed to get. So those are the strategies that we are using. That's how we got into real estate. So the third part is appreciation. This is the one that's most downplayed, just like the rule of 72 with equity. Rule of 72 says double your money, right, in an S&P 500 every 7. With real estate grows like every 10% every year. You can go on Google. So it's not me. I always say trust but verify. So in 10 years, if you buy it right, very, very important, you will double your property. The property value doubles every 10 years. The property we bought in 2017 has already doubled its value now, even though it's yet to be 10 years. It's doubled its value. So I've tested it. It is no longer statistics for me. It is now about me. I've seen it, I've touched it, I've realized it. So that is the third part of it. So it means that the present property that we are talking about, using the same scenario, 200,000, it means by in 10 years, it will become 400,000. You can literally take not just your money, your 200,000 can be out. You'll get the equity of how much, 150 or whatever that we described earlier. Let's even say 100. And on top of that, you're also getting cash flow, remember, right? So tell me, have you not gotten your money times? Yeah. And then the last one is tax benefit, tax deduction, tax benefit. This is the one that I always call it the cheat code, the $1 million, the millionaire secret that they don't want to share. But me, I will share it with you. They always say that I'm not a good salesperson, so it's okay. I'll still share it with you here. So it's the taxes, the fact that you see property taxes, interest that you are thinking about, the depreciation, right? We said property appreciate, but in the books, in the balance sheet, there is something called depreciation, land and building, property, land and building, machinery, and all of that. Those are assets, right? Those are assets. Now it becomes an expense, or it becomes an expense because every single year it depreciates its value. That's why under income and asset statement you would see depreciation, right? It means that this property, like property depreciate over 30 years. I want to believe, I remember my accounting very well, over 30 years. So it means that if you own a, and for everybody asking question, I'm going to come back to it, okay? I would go back to it one after the other. So keep it, leaving it there. Yeah, I just want to go run through this as quickly as possible so we don't all right. So having said that, so it means that you see the depreciation, it means that every single year using the same property, let's say property is 300,000, it means that it depreciates its value every 10 years. So it means you can claim it as an expense, just like your child credit, right? When you say that, okay, we are filing your taxes, you say, because I have 2 children, and these children, I did daycare for them, and you claim that. That's the same way. Your interest, your property taxes, your depreciation, if what's it called, if something gets damaged in the house, those repairs, you are going to claim it. Those are free money for you. Those are, that could run into tens of thousands at times. And that's why you see the millionaires, and you see Mr. Donald, right? Mr. Donald, you say that, oh, it's you that is, I'm a middle class, I'm working 9 to 5. How can Mr. Donald, I hope we all know who Mr. Donald is. How can Mr. Donald not pay, as rich as he is, how come he's not paying taxes? He has Trump Tower. It has all of those lines of investments. So you think he will pay? Of course, Obama will pay more than him. So those are the things, and it's not doing any, it is within the tax code. It might do some other things wrong that I don't agree with, but that one, it's within the tax code. That's how the wealthy, that's how they take care of themselves. You can use it as well. It's not for the wealthy, it's open to everybody. That's why somebody will buy a G-Wagon and will claim 100% of that 200,000 car or 180,000 car, because it's a 9,000 pounds capacity size, pounds, and you can use it. So far you are able to show that you are able to use it, you use it for business, you claim it. But if you don't have a business, trust me, you will pay your W2. You will pay. So those are things that have, those are the benefits of real estate, okay? Those are benefits of real estate. So if you want to accelerate your journey, real estate should be a big portion, and that's part of the reason why you see me talk about real estate. So and for people, but one thing about it, remember I said buy it right. Buy it right. It is very, very important. Buy it right. Reason is, if you don't buy it right, you go and buy it above the market value, or you don't check the rental comes, you don't buy, or you go and buy in a place where it would not be rented on time, or you don't manage your tenant. It could be a pain. I'm going to tell you, I will be doing, just because of this, like I said, if you want to buy real estate, it requires 3 things: your down payment, your credit, and of course your education. The education is very key. Very, very key. I got education before I started because I'd lost money in stock market, and I did not want to lose it again. So for this purpose, in April, and I've already put it out there, in April, I'll be doing, hey Sylvia, I'll be doing a free one-time live training. Everything about, from beginning to the end, everything I've learned in over 10 years of real estate investing. With double-digit real estate, I'm going to be teaching that, from analyzing deals to managing tenants to, how to network, how to buy it. I'm going to be teaching it on the 11th and the 12th for free. Now, it's going to be limited slot. Once the capacity is full, I already announced it yesterday. A lot of people already registered. Like, I know some people already registered here, right? Some people have already registered, because I am doing it. It's not just going to be TikTok. It's all my platform. I'm announcing it there. But once it's full, it's full. This is because I'm doing it for free, because it's going to be my birthday month. I'm an April baby, okay? And of course, I am giving back to the society. And of course, I am building a community of multi-million dollar league is what we are building. And what is the way I can start with everyone, the best I can do is to equip with what I know so that you don't have to start paying for that. I'm going to be doing so. You want to register, the link is in my bio. You'd see it right there. You would see, one-on-one people that want to do one-on-one consultation is there. But you would also find the one for the free out buying your real estate property in 90 days. 3 months is what it takes you. I'm going to have the blueprints as well. What are you going to do month 1, month 2, month 3? All of that is going to come in the training. And it's going to be a 2-day training, 11th and on the 12th of April. Okay? 11th and the 12th of April. Any question on that? Somebody said April. Oh, yeah. I hope you were able to join in. Okay, link on the. Okay, were you able to register? Yeah. Silver, were you able to? I know you already ready. Okay, great. Yeah. So thank you so much. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Thank you. Yes, the price at which you buy at asset is very important. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to be analyzing deals. I'm going to tell you what you need to look at in property. Bring some of my properties so you would see it, and we'll look at it together. Maybe analyze some of the deal depending on the time. So I'm thinking if it's not going to be too much, I would make it 2 hours of the real lecture. Then if people want to extend by asking question, and we would extend it maybe an hour. So it's going to, you want to register, because once the class is filled, when it's filled, like it has limited slot. Once it's filled. Whenever I wanted to do the training years ago, I paid over $1,000. So I call it $1,000 value, me giving it out for free. So because this is not going to be something in the book, this is real experience. I'll talk about eviction, right? So because real estate can come in, fix and flip if that's what you want to do. But I always do not, it's not one of the things, but we'll talk about all of the different strategies when it comes to real estate. We're going to be talking about it right there. It's going to be everyone, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everyone, and friends and families. Share with your friends and family, because this is their opportunity. Do not say I did not do something for you, okay? Do not say, so that whenever you see my children and in years to come, you'll be like, oh, your doctor. Yeah, and you'll be able to give them a big hug, right? Because I know they'll be okay. So they wouldn't need anything, but they'll be okay. So, but that's the list that, give me 1 second. Okay. So let me know any questions so far. Thank you so much for all of the birthday wishes. So you can find the link in the bio, okay? Register on time, register. And I think I do have, if you have anything specific, you can also email me. You would see my email there. Yes, the price at which you buy. Yeah, education is key. Invest in yourself. You're not even paying anything on this one. I have the Roth account. Money grows tax-free. Yes, it grows tax-free. Yes, absolutely, because it's taxed from the source. It's not. That's the beauty of it. If you put 100,000, it goes to $1 million. Then you get $1 million. Uncle Sam doesn't take nothing out of it. And if you're outside of United States, so that's for people that are outside of United States, you're in the UK, you're in Canada, you want to invest in the US, or you want to invest back or in your own country or whatever. This is also for you, because you would learn the principle of fixing something is the same thing. You might not be able to do down payment or whatever, but the strategies are going to also work for you, especially if you are in some of those developing world. I mean, I will not say developing like, you're in Europe, you're in Canada, you are in any other, you will be able to utilize it, because you are still going to be able to use mortgage or whatever. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. The return on investment professor. Okay, I hope you talk about 5 to 9. We have one, but not sure if it's right. Okay, so let me see. I just want to make sure I answer. And to you too, please feel free to ask question as well. Ask question and subscribe if you are not. That income is very important piece, okay? Just want to make sure I did not miss this. Good, okay. So So somebody wants me to. So if you save up to 20K down for payment, is it better to put it in ETF or get? I think I already answered that. So I would say it's in sequence. That's what I would say. It's in sequence. I would not say just invest in real estate. Go and invest in it. No, no, no. So the way I do it, I talk about it is start with your ETF, okay? You first start with your emergency fund. You now have ETF. Remember, you are saving. Let's assume you are just starting right now. You are starting your investing, right? You've never saved anything before. If you have saved, then that's a different thing. But you are just saving. It means that you are going to be saving. If you're saving $1,000, you'll be saving it every single month. So you don't leave it in a savings account. You can put that one towards ETFs to the point where you're going to get 3.5% down payment if you're a first-time homeowner, or 20% for investment, for investment. So until you get there, put it in ETF, let it be growing, right? Then when it gets to your down payment, now you have your down payment, then you would use that, then you can now go and buy the real estate property. Then it's the same cycle. You start it all over again. You've bought that property, you start all over again, your income, but at this time, you get cash flow from the property, it goes in there, then you do it. It's the same cycle all over again. Then once that one is complete, you do it again. And then till you get to your final number of portfolio you want to have. And then you can now say that, you know what, I want to also diversify and say, okay, buy businesses, laundromat, buy McDonald's, all those franchise, those big names. It's not meant for others. It's meant for us, right? It's meant for us. And trust me, it is doable. It is doable. All right, so it's a sequence rather than which one should you start for. So you said, real estate professor said, 529. Yes, 529. Whenever we wanted to start real estate, we were doing 529 for our kids, and we're like, you know what, this 529 is not working. It is not working because I saw that it wasn't growing nothing. Excuse me. I saw that it wasn't growing anything. So what did we do? It was like, okay, you know what? Real estate appears to. Then I started searching and I saw that, of course, that too, ETF and real estate. So I said, okay, let me use real estate. I mean, since I was already doing ETFs anyway. So let me use real estate. And, because I did the research on it. And I figured that with real estate, let's assume that you give birth to a kid, just like people do like 529, right? You get a kid right now. And from the year one, you start putting money. Once you get to your down payment, you buy the property. It's not going to be in your name. It's not going to be in the kid's name. It's in your name. Like technically it's your, or in a business name or something. When you buy it, but in your mind, it's not like you're buying for a child number one. No. You're just saying, I'm buying 3 houses. So you're just buying, right? So you buy it and think about it. Once the child, just think about it, by the time the child turns 18, guess what? You would have almost paid, let's even say it's a 30-year mortgage. You would have paid almost more than 50% of that loan. It means that you have equity, huge equity in that property. And on top of that, you can also, you have equity, you have cash flow. The tenant is paying, so you are saving that money. You have equity, right? Huge equity from mortgage that you are paying. Then you have appreciation. So if you buy it right, the chances of the property doubling is already there. Even it would have doubled, more than double. So you can easily, when the child is time for child to go to college, you can take, let's assume the child did not get scholarship, you can take cash out refinance and finance the kids' education through that. You still have the property. Or you can take home equity home equity will not even work. But you take cash out refinance and you are still renting and you are still paying the mortgage. I mean, using the tenant's money. That's it. It means that the property is still there. And remember, you have been saving money too because you are getting cash flow, right? So that is the strategy right there. Okay? But there's more to that, more to that. We'll talk about it in class. So go register, and we'll talk about that in class. Like I said, it's Monitor. You can find the link in the bio, or you can send me a message. I would send you the link, or I'll tell my assistant to send you the link. Or is it moderator? What do they call them? to send you the link. Okay, yeah. What else I had? Okay, let me see. Yes, the price at which you buy an asset is very important. That's good. Yes, absolutely. That price is very important because if you already bought the price property at a higher price, what you are already losing money. You're already losing money. So buying right is very, very crucial. And we're going to be analyzing it. Okay, let me see. I just want to make sure I address any question. Uh, I this IUL thing, I don't know. Like I'm still researching about it, right? I really do not, because people say they do it. If you have an agent that do it right, good. But I am already doing yeah, I'm already doing real estate. I'm already doing what's it called? ETF. That's already something, right? If I want to, I'll start thinking of the IUL. So I know about, yeah. So think about it. Whoever, do you know about this IUL, please? Yeah. Will it be? Yes, it will be recorded, but we will not be sharing the recording of the class. You will not be sharing the recording of the class, because it's free, right? It's free. Tech Queen. Yeah. Because I want people to be there. Otherwise, if say we share the recording, what will happen is that people are, because you will not get the, yeah. But we might change it though. But the right now the plan is not to share, to have the recording. So IUL, I don't know, for people that know, and somebody said, Doctor, can you let me see. Let me see. I wonder, can you get a home to live as a rental Oh, that's an amazing, amazing one. It's called house hacking. It's a strategy. We'll talk about that in class. How you can, buy it and yes, it's called house hacking. House hacking. And it's an amazing strategy, by the way. It makes the journey quicker. Remember we said the $1 million community, the $1 million league community that we are building. We are saying 10 years to become a million. That can make you can reduce your journey by another 3 years to make it 7 years, and you get your millionaire status in 7 years. But we'll talk about in class. Those are things that you've already registered, right, Silver? So we'll talk about it because we're going to be talking about all of the strategies, all of the different strategies. Yeah, we talk about that. Is it a good thing or not? Yeah, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. That's why the strategy. I'm not going to say, when it comes to real estate, I'm not going to say there's no strategy that is bad. That's why it's a strategy, right? Right? It's about how you handle it. It's about what is good for you, because what is good for you might not be good for another person. Does that work? Because it's good for you, even with fix and flip, even with the BRR strategy, some people it's not good for them, because if you don't know how to analyze deals, or you will mess up with fixed and you will lose money. If you over leverage with BRR, you realize that you will be or you don't have income to support it in a situation where you over leverage, and something happens, then you can't take care, then you realize that you go into foreclosure and all of those kind of things. So everything in life is balance. And I always say, even if you do, as much as water is very good for your body, right? Water is good for us. As much as water is good, if you drink too much of it, it's going to get you sick, right? So you're going to drown. Good when structured correctly. Yeah. So IUL, yeah. If it's structured correctly, IUL is good when structured. Okay. Somebody says structured correctly, but how do you know? Because how do you know who structures it correctly, or if they, because that's really the question. You see, everybody keeps saying the same thing. If structured correctly. So what is that correctly? Understanding that it's just like understanding that correctly, it can make or mar you, right? So how do you know the correctly? That's the thing. That is the problem. Understanding that you don't know it. Whoever is structuring is the person that knows it. So why can't we? It's just like with ETS right now. Correctly, right? Correctly means just open the account, boom, boom, boom. Buy this ETF, you are good. But whenever it comes to something, it's just like the way we say real estate, right? That you need to buy it right. When we say we need to buy real estate right? We say buy real estate right. What you realize is that That's why I keep saying, come get the education. So until I get education on IUL or any other thing, I would not, I cannot speak to it or venture into it, or tell anyone to do it. What do you mean, please? I registered already, but I have an event that day. Oh, okay. But it's 2 days, okay? Yeah, it's 2 days, okay? Tech Queen, it's 2 days. It's it's on the and it's in the afternoon, you see it, but just register regardless, right? Just register, and who knows. Yeah, and if you have it recorded, we'll let you know. With little money and still get benefits. I'm waiting for the class with blood on the form. Yeah, I was asking about, okay, so you're asking about, let me see, I don't want to miss any question. Yes, so about the bankruptcy, it's going to be on record for 7 years. So it's just like two things that can keep you stuck: bankruptcy and foreclosure. So, as much as possible, you want to see all that you can to avoid it. I'll go on a negotiating table, right? See how you can tell them they don't want to lose their money. Negotiate with them first. You're all right, and let them know that the only other option is bankruptcy. They don't want to, but it's not, because you won't be able to buy property. You won't be able to do so many things, because now you're almost like a dead weight. That's the same thing with foreclosure. It's on your record for so long. So if you have to go, number one, I would say go on a negotiating table with them and see. I know somebody that was going on foreclosure, and this happened in December. And the person calls me out of the blues, and he was like, Dr. Lina, please, I need your help. And I said, okay. He said, I need, my house is going on foreclosure. However, are you ready? Can you buy? All right, that was one. And the two is like, or do you have within your network of friends that buys real estate? Is there anyone that can buy? And I'm like, okay. I looked at the deal and I said, right now, the deal doesn't look, I can't buy it, because the amount that you owe on it, if I have to buy it, is going to be lower than how much you owe on it. And it means that you'll still be paying mortgage, and it cannot become your own property unless you have, whatever I'm paying is, or whatever you are going to sell is way higher. Okay? So what did I say? I said, so what do you have? He said, oh, I'm not working right now. But I said, but you drive a Tesla. And I said, so, no. I said, do you have a car? He said, yes. I said, okay, so what do you do with the car during the day? He said, oh, yeah, he gave me 100 excuses. He said, during the day, I'm the one watching the kids so that my wife goes to work. I said, so when your wife comes back from work, your wife can take over. So can you, yes, but I drive a Tesla. I don't, they said the Tesla, the battery cannot. He gave me 1 million reasons. And I said, okay, whatever. I said, well, negotiate with the bank, do whatever thing you can do with the bank, and call me back. I'm going to call my network of friends, or, my wholesalers, and see if there's anybody that is able to, maybe they will want to buy it as a homeowner, not as an investment, because it's not a good investment. You looking at analyzing the deal. And then he calls me 3 weeks later and he said, Dr. Lina, thank you so much for that conversation. Right now, I don't even need to do the foreclosure anymore. Whatever you said, at that point, I was only thinking of, my Tesla. I don't want to put mileage on it. So first of all, I said, okay, go sell the Tesla. He said, oh, he's lost the value of the Tesla is lower than how much I'm owing on the Tesla. I said, okay. I can, but then I said, what can we do? So I said, use the Tesla on Uber, ride it on Uber, and 1 million. Anyway, 3 weeks after, he calls and he says, oh, you know what, Dr. Lina, thank you. Whatever you did, tweak something in my brain. He switched because I did not see any way out. I saw a dead hole. The only thing I saw was foreclosure. Now I was able to negotiate with the bank. They extended the number of months. And I started the day you talked to me, I slept over it. The next day I started riding Uber. I make this amount. He said he was making 180 or close to like 200. I go closer towards to the airport. So I make, he said right now, and the other day when I saw him, he said, oh, Dr. Lina, now because I'm in a good mental space, I was able to get another job. I'm still doing the Uber. I don't need to do foreclosure. We are putting the house on rent because the Houston market, they are bringing what's it called, Olympic or whatever, World Cup or something is happening. So we're putting it on Airbnb. But even regardless, I can still pay the mortgage and I can still pay my other house and all of that. I said, okay. And every single time, the guys just give me a hug. So a lot of times we always think that there's no way out, right? There's no way out. It was just, see, he had the tool right there, right in front of him. The tool that was making him how much? Almost $200 a day. 230, that's $6,000. That's it. $6,000. If he keeps his bill barest minimum, why is he still working? What happens? So those are, see, a lot of time it's not like it's about mindset. Mindset, and you just feel that there's no way out. I don't know your details, right? Mr. 007. I don't know. If you want, something specific, you can book a one-on-one consultancy and we look at the 8 and see just the same thing I did with this guy, and see what we can do differently. But that's still right now, it's a beautiful thing for me, okay? Because when I hear those success stories, somebody says, Silver said, Doctor, if anyone wants to know more about it in the DM, in the DM, I can show you that. Okay. So you mean IUL? If they want to know, yes, they can check with you on the DM. Correctly means you are working with qualified agents who understand it. You guys are still on this IUL thing. Yes. Okay. You have better returns with ETF, and IUL end up also bringing the money into stock market. Okay. All right. All right. So I think that's let me see. Does that miss anything? America. Okay. Let me see. I just want to make sure. Already know it. IUL is perfect when designed in a way that it's meeting the client's mission before the commission. Yeah, because a lot of time people focus on the commission. I can show you if you want, correct. And if you do that, you would be losing money. I love it. I already know it is a scam. 007 doesn't just want to hear it. Also, try and sit before a qualified agent who must show you their track record and get the education. Yeah, so education. And that's why I said, even, and I always leave an open mind. Like I said, I am still trying to get education on that because in everything that we do, we also, part of the things of my 4 pillars of wealth creation is financial fortress. Financial fortress is financial planning. What does that mean? The protection that comes with it, right? Because you want to make sure your money is protected. So the insurance, the trust, the emergency fund, all of those things are the things. So yes, the insurance is very key. But the only thing is that I don't know if IUL is the right vehicle or not because I don't know much about it. Or just do, the minimum, just do a life insurance because that's the minimum. Do your ETF, do your life insurance first, and then try to figure out, get education. That's what I'm doing. Well, I'm trying to get education and IUL to see because it's almost investment and at the same time, investment and insurance together, right? Once I get that education, I will be able to sit down to talk about it right here. But as of today, just keep it simple, the two separated, and once or when you get somebody that's qualified and you understand, I think Tech Queen and Silver, they do have a lot about it. And sit before a qualified agent with track record to get the education. Okay, means government licensed people to scam, correct? Okay. This is getting, anyways, I'm enjoying Dr. Lina inside here. America has a lot of strategy. Pick the one you like. Okay. All right. Yeah, so no knowledge is lost. So like I said, I'm still even getting knowledge about this IUL because every single time this IUL thing will come up and I want to put it to rest. Are we doing it or we are not doing it? Okay. Are we doing it? We are not doing it, or it's whatever. That's the way I want to handle it. How is a scam when you need a license from said before? Okay. I think the thing about it is some people would they structure it with the commission, the focus of the commission in mind rather than the client's interest. That's what I've heard. Like I said, I don't know, I've never done it. No, it means for you to get paid good, you must structure it against the person. Why must you structure it against the person? Use ChatGPT, type their wealth, build wealth. You will see the pick of your option. Okay. No, everything license me, it can't be a scam. If they are agents, okay. All right. This is interesting. Are you all okay? Iboni. IUL is becoming something here. All right. I think I might just get to Iboni. I think I need to get a class on this IUL thing. Doctor, what is the best life insurance? Please. I can't tell. That I can't tell. It's not my space. Let's keep it as my own asset class. What I know, I will tell you. Trust me. And that's why you want to be a part of the money $1 million league, right? $1 million league. That's part of the things we'll be bringing people that will be teaching us on trust, bringing people like Ebony, maybe on IUL. Ebony, I'm calling you out. We'll be bringing people on site how to improve your skill, because my four pillars of wealth that I talk about is skills, smart investing, right? Real estate, and of course the financial fortress. What financial fortress is? Financial literacy, this education, financial discipline, making sure you are disciplined, delayed gratification, and of course financial planning, and the last one is financial freedom. So we'll be doing that. So the skill pillar, I'll be addressing it. Skill pillar, I'll be getting expert. So you want to be a nurse, you want to increase your income, right? And you want to switch from one career to another, we'll bring a nurse. You want to do social media, whatever, we'll bring a social media. Maybe I'll beg Mimi OJ, maybe she would come to train. Cyber security, I'll bring Dr. O to come teach. He's a director of cyber security, teaches AI cyber security as well. We want to learn to be a nurse. I'll bring Dr. Fade, Fade. I'll bring her. She'll come and teach. You want to be a psychologist, counseling and all of that. You want to do. I'll bring Dr. O, right? I'll bring my doctor people, doing it in the professional world and also academia. I'll bring them to come teach. Those are things. So from, maybe every month, every quarter or something, we'll have people that will come and teach, on different things. So on skills, we'll teach that. On investing, we will teach that. So these are, and they will have book clubs. So we'll be having book clubs, we'll be teaching. So you're not just, so be on the lookout of the $1 million league. Aside the fact that we are building wealth in $1 million in 10 years, right? I will be handling the everything real estate. I would also be, goal is to start bringing people, like my wholesalers, wholesalers, realtors, all of that, to come teach us from time to time. That's the things that it's going to be an ongoing learning. So it's called $1 million league, right? $1 million league, and the goal is you are there for 10 years. Like that's the goal. Like for 10 years. So that's what we are building, a huge community of millionaires. If I have 10 millionaires, 1 million, 10. That's what I come into, 1 million. If I have 10. It's enough for me, because I have impacted not just 10 people, I've impacted 10 a generation of 10 people, right? Because I'll teach you, you teach your children will teach their children's children, just like a Rockefeller, right? You teach it. So wealth building is not just, you are building. That's why they call it generational wealth. That's why there's some things I don't teach, right? There's some things that get rich quick scheme, I don't do that, because it's something that is lasting. So that's $1 million league. It's going to be a paid community. So be on the lookout. So maybe people on the training, I might be, maybe in my birthday mood, I might be able to give some discounts as we build it. Or you want to grandfather into that community, you would also be able to register once that is ready as well. Let's see. You're doing a great job, my darling. Oh, thank you. Will you try sign me up with the IUL stuff? Okay. Yeah, so that's that. Of course, I am she have very good information. Silver, of course, I don't know. Hello, did you get my message? Olori, are you for the training? Yes, I did respond to your message. The link, the second, sorry, the first link was for the one-on-one consultation. So if you want to book a one-on-one, 007, like, if you want to still talk about the bankruptcy, let me know. Book a one-on-one. If that's the one that is 199, right? But for the real estate training, is free. And now you can even find the link in the bio. Just go on my bio, click on it. You will see all of the product I have in the store. And thank you for the daily admin. You can book it right there. YouTube, I haven't put the link. So send me a DM, right? Send me a DM and I'll send you the link, right? But I'll put the link there today as well on YouTube. It's already on Instagram. Or you can go to my TikTok page or go on my Instagram page. The link is there. It's only YouTube that doesn't have the link yet, right? It's only YouTube that doesn't have the link yet. And I'll beautiful inside Dr. Lina. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You're always very sweet. And everybody here, you guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. Awesome. Awesome. And this IUL thing, I think, T-Body, we need to put it to rest. Dale said it's late. No, you will be back tomorrow. The only thing is that real estate training, I know you have been waiting on it, Dale. I remember you. You have been waiting on it. The link is out there, but out there right now. Or send me a message and I'll send you the link, right? So it's on the April 11, April 12. It's so my birthday. I'm giving it for free. It is a $1,000 value, given absolutely, but registration is required. And by the way, once the class is full. I'm not going to extend it. Please do not tell me. Yeah, do not tell me. It's a 2-day event, 11 and 12th. Okay, if you know that you won't be there, or you please do not, so that you can keep the slot for others, right? So register. It's very, very important, because once the class is full, don't tell me. I'm not one of those people that will pay for Zoom, right? I'm not going to be paying Zoom to $1,000 or $2,000 for a free class. No, I'm not that. I'm a financial savvy human being. I'm not going to share my knowledge and at the same time be the one to pay for it. She said, will it be the same information for both days? Yes, it's going to be the same information for both days, yes. Do I go for registration? Where do I go for registration? It's in my bio, or just send me a message and I'll send you the link. It's in my bio. Once the class is full, it's full. Remember, it's not just TikTok. So we have Instagram, we have YouTube on one side, we have TikTok, and everybody's already registered. And it's not like I'm just talking about it here. I already have poster out there. So you have the banner on my page. So other people outside of this life will be there. It's on my Instagram, which I even have way more community right there. I am locked in. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, you just did now. Awesome. Okay, I need to awesome. Yeah, it promises to be rewarding, because over 10 years of real estate experience, hands-on, training, right? Thank you so much for that. Hands-on training, right? I'll be hands-on training. It's different from something you read in the book. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you some skills, some things. We'll also talk a little bit about mindset shifts, because that one is very important. Don't let them scam you with the IU. All right. Okay, let's put it 007. Let's put this IUL to a rest. I think you've had a very bad experience, 007. Yeah, if I have real estate business and I am good for retirement. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you have your 401k as well too. Make sure to register for ETF. So the ETF, I think let's do the real estate training first. We will be doing a training on, I call it the Wealth Building Academy. That's going to have just not as in-depth as real estate. It's just going to be real estate and a little mainly ETF, but a touch of real estate. But this one that we are doing on the level is going to be core real estate, all in deep, analyzing deal and all of that. But then we'll have another training for, and I think that's going to be the Wealth Building Academy or $1 Million Academy, right? That one is going to be over, and we will do, go into fidelity, try to buy and all of that. We'll do that, but that's going to be paid, right? That's going to be paid. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that as well, but we'll talk about the details in the class. Right, so there's going to be $1 Million League, which is the community. Okay, it's going to be a paid community as well for that. There's going to be the Wealth Building Academy or $1 Million Academy, right? We're going to have that. I might change my mind and make it free as well at some point, depending on how I see people do. Hey, Mr. Gregory, how are you? Your number one doctor. Yes, sir. We're just talking about the training. Hopefully, we can have you. Mr. Gregory is the one that is retired at 52. Yeah, I always see him and I give him a round of applause because it's absolutely phenomenal. If somebody retires at 52, that is somebody that break the cheat code. He broke it and chattered it. That's not what the system wants us. They want us till 65 and still working till you die. A real person, real estate and stock market, yeah, is best in as Linda said. Yeah. So, both of them, for me, spread your risk, spread the diversification in ski. Like I said, I'm not just doing real estate, I'm doing ETFs. I'm buying franchise so that that is also so if you are a part of the $1 Million League, we'll be talking about that. So this is not, and by the way, if you want to join $1 Million League, that one, be ready, because you have to be coachable. You're going to be seeing me. I'm not going to be smiling like this. You're going to be serious. It's going to be serious business. So it's going to just be on the lookout for it. Be on the lookout for it. Yeah, be on the lookout for it. Yeah, awesome. Mr. K Jam came in through earlier as well. Maybe Mr. Gregory, maybe you'll be talking to us, hopefully, finally. Maybe you'll be able to talk to us in the class. It will be nice. The link is in the bio, Mr. Gregory, for the free real estate live training on April the 11th and 12th. I know that it's been difficult for you to bring you up here as a panel, but if you want to share anything, it will be absolutely, maybe, testimony or whatever, your experiences, that would also be great. Take this as an invitation, just so people would know that whatever processes we're talking about actually works. Awesome. Now I gotta go. So remember to register. Once the class is full, it's full. It's not me. Don't come to me after, right? Share with your friends and your family. Don't come to me and say, oh, Dr. Lina, I've been following you. Please, there's nothing I can do about it. I will not pay 1,000 to open. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Great. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for all of your contribution. Thank you so much for sticking out with me. And I will be here tomorrow, 12:30, or maybe I might still come out tonight. I don't know yet, depending on my schedule, because with all those things that I'm building, it's a lot. I got to go, guys. I love you so much. Understand that your salary pays bills, right? It pays bills, but what you do with it, it's assets. That's what gives you freedom. Freedom is actually the goal, right? Oh, thank you so much, Tech Queen, for that. Freedom is the goal. So you want to ensure that you focus on the asset that brings you the freedom. Well, I love you so much. Okay? Ensure that your money is working harder than you do. Love you, and I'll see you later. Stay blessed. And my YouTube community, thank you for hanging out. Remember, for the links, I know it's not on YouTube right now, but you can go on YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram and register. But I would also put the link as well there, so you can also register for the real estate training. All right. I love you. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you later. Love you.